So you say you went to boarding school.
Yeah.
Where does a boarding school exist that focuses on Qur'an?
So there's a lot. Majority there's a few in London.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few in London that focus on Quran. This is what I say. As much as, as we say, we want to move out of the UK, you've already done the move, alhamdulillah. But a lot of us want to do that move. I also do say, having seen Europe, having seen America, Canada, the UK is top 5 countries for studying Islam. The rest of the stuff I don't want to get into because I don't know. But for studying, you have institutes, mainly they're up north. You have mainly like in areas like near Birmingham, Leicester, in them type of areas up north, they have a lot of institutes where, you can study not only the Quran, but you can study ilm, you can study alimiyya to become an alim, you can study to become a mufti, and you can do that in all these places. But me, I just found somewhere that, they teach that, but I just purely went to focus on the Quran. I did a 1-year stretch.
Sheikh Muhammad Tim has a similar point. He's like, people come to me and say, we're trying to get into the University of Medina. Can you help us? And he'll be like, well, have you maximized the classes in your area?
100%.
And then once you've done that, have you maximized the classes in your city or your country? Have you traveled from Birmingham to Dudley or whatever, or to Newcastle? Because if you can't do a 4-hour drive to get there in, what makes you think that doing an 8-hour plane journey, you're going to then all of a sudden become disciplined, right? So that makes a lot of sense. But that's with anything like fitness. You can have a membership to the best gym in the world, but look at how many people get in amazing shape just by not even having a gym, but doing home workouts or by running out on the street. So that's pretty incredible. So in that 1-year stretch, you basically were able to rememorize the Quran?
I did. So at that time was when I mentioned it in Hifz Stayers podcast, where I had a choice to go into a football academy or to go to do this boarding school thing. Obviously, I don't know how till this day, I don't have the answer as to why I chose the Quran in that way. I just know Allah just did that for me because He knew where I'd be in years to come. But I somehow chose the Quran, went to the boarding school and came back. And that exact same football academy that offered me the 2-year scholarship came and offered me the exact same scholarship again.
Yeah, I heard that.
So then after the year I did there, I rememorized the Quran basically. And in that year, I was a different human. Like even till this day, I don't know how I did what I did, but it was like, I would sit for 12 hours, full concentration, memorizing. And that's not normal in the sense of like, even me now, I can't sit for more than 1 hour in one spot memorizing. I'd need a break. I need half an hour, go get food, go out, freshen my mind and come back. In that year, I was so locked in, purely from du'as from my parents maybe, or from just Allah wanting to have the mercy on me to allow me to rememorize the Quran in such a short amount of time. But I went crazy, I'm not going to lie. I went in. And then after that year...
Did you start from the front?
I started from Baqarah. So after trialing all these methods of memorization from Mauritania to Palestine to all these countries that have their different memorization methods, I believe, in my opinion, obviously this isn't a way to do it, but this is just the way I teach my students and stuff like that, is to start from Juz Amma. So you do from the last 9 surahs and from Alam Tara till the end, and then you start from Amma Yatasa'alun till the end, then you start from Baqarah, and that's it. Then
it's so incredible actually, because I'm pretty sure Alam Tara is where my son stopped at before I moved him to Nawa.
Really? Yeah. That's the best way, because they learn the short surahs for their salah and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they can start the longer surahs, but not too long.
And after Juz Amma, you go to Baqarah.
Baqarah straight away. Start from Alif Lam Mim, because now their brain comes accustomed to every type of word that they're going to see from Juz Amma. So now when they start from Surah Baqarah, once they've finished Surah Baqarah and they continue, their new memorization is going to be so easy, because Surah Baqarah has everything. It's going to be hard. The hardest surah, I'd say, for new memorization, to start with Surah Baqarah, because it's the longest, it's the biggest, it's got all the different words, all the different mutashabihat inside it, the confusing words and things like that. So once you've done that, everything's just going to be repetition in a sense. So I feel like if you go backwards, you've put them with the short ayat where, I'm a bit confused. How do I join this? How do I do that? Whereas from Surah Baqarah, you have mix. You have some short ayat, some long, so you can learn how to memorize. That's what I call the learning phase. And after that is where you just practice and where you can complete.
So after Baqarah, does it get like a lot easier?
100%. It's like with anything. Comparing memorizing the Quran, you can compare to so many worldly things nowadays, in the sense of not the Quran itself, just the aspect of memorization, like going to the gym, for example. The example that we used was, if you go to the gym for the first month or the first 2 months and you're doing all these new workouts, you're not going to have a clue how to actually do it. You're not going to feel what's hurting. The instructor's telling you, is your back hurting? You're going to say, no, my biceps hurting, because it's confusing. You're just doing as he says. But once you've done that first 3 months, that first Surah Baqarah basically, which should take 3 to 4 months or 5 months, depending on the student, obviously. But once you've done that, now you're like, okay, I know which muscles to focus on. I know which words are easy to memorize, which order to memorize them in, how long it takes me to learn a page, how long it takes me to revise my previous memorization. You become accustomed to it because you've done a whole chunk, basically. Sure. Whereas the short surahs, I feel like you get complacent because one surah, for example, would just be like very short ayat, and then you're like, I don't know how to memorize the next surah now because it's a whole different, it's longer ayat or it's more difficult words. So I feel like doing juz amma helps that part. Then surah Baqarah, now you just got that middle chunk of the sandwich to finish, and it's just like you've got your tunnel vision now. You've done two hard parts, combine that now, and you've got an easy tunnel vision to now finishing the Qur'an.